Yemeni separatists take control of the strategic city of Aden just weeks after the United Arab Emirates says it's pulling its forces out of the country. Hello, I'm Al-Hamdani and this is The Heat. For 4 years, the UAE has provided weapons, money and thousands of troops for the Saudi-led war in Yemen, all in an effort to defeat the Shiite Houthi rebels. Then came the announcement last month that the UAE was leaving, pulling its forces out. Fast forward to this past weekend when UAE-backed southern separatists, part of the Sunni Muslim coalition led by the Saudis, seized control of the strategic port city of Aden. These developments threaten the Saudi alliance and potentially opens a new front in the 5-year conflict. To help us untangle all this, we turn now to CGTN's Yasser Hakim in Cairo. And Yasser, first, what more do we know about the fighting in Aden, and what can you tell us about reports of fracturing within the Saudi-led coalition there?
Yes, Alan, there has been some ongoing clashes in Aden lately, and at the moment there is a lot of fighting. Just now, on Monday, the King of Saudi Arabia met with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi to try to reach some kind of agreement on the way forward. The statements coming out of the meeting were positive, but on the ground, obviously, there's still some differences on the way the United Arab Emirates is looking at the conflict at the moment and how it's conflicting with the Saudi interests, which wants to not just take over the Houthi power, but also try to control the north of Yemen to avoid any attacks coming from the Houthis to Saudi Arabia. The last being a drone that has attacked the Yasser area in southwestern Saudi Arabia on Monday morning. No casualties, but it was claimed by the Houthis. Back to you, Anand.
And yes, so what's behind the withdrawal of UAE troops, and how likely is that to affect the conflict?
Yes, the United Arab Emirates, I think, have realized that this is a long war. It's a prolonged war. It's going to be an unwinnable one. Many wars, you would know that there's no straight winner coming out of it. The economic toll is high, and also the issues with Iran and the conflicts in the region is also looking a bit worrying for the United Arab Emirates. What I can see is that the UAE is trying to concentrate more on the south. That's where it has been nurturing the STC, or the Southern Transitional Council, to try to control and to protect its trade routes, which link Africa with Asia. And that's the priority at the moment for the United Arab Emirates. It doesn't want to go more into war and more losses, but it wants to control the economic and trade routes that are vital to the United Arab Emirates at the moment. And that's why there's a conflict with Saudi Arabia, which wants to continue the war as it is. It wants a strong coalition and to continue the fight against the Houthis. The United Arab Emirates has now changed this stance concerning how it looks at the conflict in Yemen, and wants to pull out military-wise, but also to control and to protect its trade routes in the south of Yemen. Back to you.